What if the very thing you chase for success, recognition, status, superiority, is also the greatest obstacle to it? Imagine a hidden saboteur, living inside your own mind, actively working against your best intentions, clouding your judgment, and sabotaging your relationships. It's not an external enemy. It's not bad luck. It's far more insidious. And it might just be the most destructive force preventing you from achieving true, sustainable success. This force is ego. Most people misunderstand ego. They confuse it with self-esteem or healthy ambition. But in the mental model we're exploring today, ego isn't about having confidence. It's about having an unhealthy belief in your own importance. It's the incessant need to be superior, to always be right, to maintain a carefully constructed image at all costs. Ryan Holiday, who popularized "ego is the enemy," defines it simply as an unhealthy belief in one's own importance. It's that inner voice constantly whispering about how great you are, how much you deserve, and how everyone else is wrong. But why is this enemy? Isn't a little self-belief necessary? Think of ego not as a suit of armor, but as a magnificent yet incredibly fragile glass mask. You wear this mask to project strength, intelligence, and invincibility to the world. It looks impressive, perhaps even intimidating. But beneath it, you are constantly terrified of it shattering. This fear dictates your every move. You avoid risks that might crack it. You lash out at those who point out its imperfections. And you prioritize maintaining its flawless appearance over genuine connection, learning, or growth. You become a prisoner to the image you've created, unable to truly see or be seen. The mask limits your peripheral vision, muffles genuine feedback, and makes every fall feel catastrophic. This fragile mask dictates far more of your life than you realize. Let's explore how. In decision-making, ego is a master of delusion. It makes us cling to bad ideas simply because they were our ideas. We double down on failing projects, not because the data supports it, but because admitting defeat would mean admitting we were wrong. Our ego convinces us that asking for help is a sign of weakness, preventing us from leveraging collective intelligence. It whispers that feedback is criticism, not an opportunity to improve. Think of the executive who ignores market shifts because their original strategy was brilliant, or the startup founder who won't pivot even as their product fails because it's their vision. Ego blinds you to alternative paths, trapping you on a road to inevitable failure because turning back would wound your pride. How many opportunities have we missed? How many mistakes have we compounded? All to protect a fleeting sense of self-importance. When it comes to wealth and professional success, ego often manifests as unchecked ambition and overconfidence. It's the "I know better" syndrome. This leads to wildly speculative investments, ignoring expert advice, or believing one's Midas touch is infallible. History is littered with examples of brilliant minds who built empires only to watch them crumble due to hubris. They refused to delegate because no one could do it as well as them, leading to burnout. They scaled too fast, believing their hype, without solid foundations. They got caught up in the accolades, forgetting the gritty work that got them there. True wealth isn't just about accumulating assets. It's about sustainable growth, which requires constant learning, adaptability, and the humility to know what you don't know. Ego, by contrast, demands constant validation and often leads to the very setbacks it's trying to avoid. The greatest fortunes are often built not by ego-driven risk-takers, but by patient, humble operators who prioritize long-term value over short-term glory. Perhaps ego's most painful toll is on our relationships. It's the inability to genuinely apologize, to admit fault, or to put another's feelings before our own pride. Ego demands we always be right, even when it means sacrificing connection. It fuels arguments, fosters resentment, and erects walls between us and those we love. When your ego is in control, every conversation becomes a debate to win. Every compromise feels like a defeat, and vulnerability is seen as a weakness. You become defensive, unyielding, and ultimately isolated. Healthy relationships are built on trust, empathy, and mutual respect. All qualities that crumble under the weight of an unchecked ego. It keeps you from truly hearing, truly understanding, and truly connecting. Think about a time you refused to back down in an argument, even when you knew deep down you might be wrong. What was the cost? Here's the surprising truth, the counterintuitive insight. The strongest, most successful individuals are not those who project invincibility, but those who embrace radical humility. Humility isn't thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. It's the realization that you are not the center of the universe, that you don't have all the answers, and that there is always more to learn. This mental model liberates you. It allows you to genuinely listen, to admit mistakes without shame, to seek diverse perspectives, and to adapt to reality, rather than trying to force reality to conform to your self-image. It's the foundation of true growth, resilience, and genuine connection. When you shed the fragile glass mask of ego, you discover a strength that is far more profound and enduring. This isn't just about being a nice person, it's a strategic advantage. Consider the tragic trajectory of Howard Hughes. In his early career, he was a brilliant and innovative figure, a pioneering aviator, a successful film producer, and an astute industrialist. He broke speed records, built revolutionary aircraft, and had an incredible eye for talent. But as his success grew, so did his ego. He became increasingly isolated, convinced of his own genius, and unwilling to trust or listen to others. His later years were marked by extreme paranoia, reclusiveness, and eccentric behavior. His ego, once a driving force, transformed into a mental prison. He stopped innovating, squandered his fortune, and ultimately lost control of his empire to a team of lawyers and caretakers. Hughes' story is a stark reminder. Talent and early success can amplify ego, and unchecked, that ego can consume and destroy everything it touches, turning a titan into a tragic figure. His life serves as a powerful cautionary tale about the perils of an unmanaged ego. So how do you master this internal enemy? 1. Practice self-awareness. Regularly check in with yourself. Is your pride dictating your actions? Are you defending an idea just because it's yours? Journaling, meditation, and seeking honest feedback can shine a light on ego's subtle whispers. 2. Embrace reality. Detach from your personal narrative. Focus on objective facts, data, and the truth of a situation, even if it's uncomfortable. As the Stoics taught, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. 3. Love the process, not the outcome. Shift your focus from external validation and accolades to the inherent satisfaction of the work itself, the learning, and the continuous improvement. This makes you less vulnerable to praise and criticism. 4. Cultivate humility. Actively seek opportunities to learn from others, especially those you might dismiss. Admit when you don't know something. Be quick to apologize and slow to take offense. Remember, true strength comes from acknowledging your limitations, not hiding them. These aren't just abstract ideas. They are daily practices that build genuine resilience. Ego isn't inherently evil, but it is a powerful force that, left unchecked, will inevitably derail your journey to true success. It prevents you from seeing clearly, from connecting authentically, and from growing continuously. By understanding and actively managing your ego, you clear the path for better decisions, stronger relationships, and more profound achievements. The mental model of ego is the enemy isn't about self-effacement, it's about self-mastery, getting out of your own way so you can build something truly great. If you found this exploration of ego enlightening, help us share these powerful mental models by hitting the like button and subscribing to Mindframe. Your support helps us continue to deliver insights that can genuinely transform your thinking. And if you're ready to dive deeper into practical wisdom for personal growth, check out our video on First Principles Thinking right here. It's another fundamental mental model that can help you strip away assumptions and see the world with radical clarity, free from the biases often imposed by ego. Master your mind, master your life. We'll see you in the next video.